I want you to take some time and just breathe and enjoy the effervescence of these coming moments. Spirit's telling me there's going to be a lot more videos that I'm going to be putting out, and I love that because I have been looking forward to this. Now, I have a specific message for you. Keep in mind, if this does not resonate right now, it might later. Also, keep in mind, we're in an energy where Spirit is telling a lot of us who are like class of 2021 and 2022 graduates that it's a lot easier than you think to get into union with your DM or your, or whatever you want to do, like really. But if you're feeling resistant, if what I'm about to say, if you go to a place of, it doesn't matter, I'm done with him, then one, why are you watching this video? Two, no, you're not. And three, that's where your block is. And it feels like a big block. It's actually a very small block. And please reach out to me if you'd like help in shifting that. No, that doesn't mean I'm going to direct you back to your twin flame, just in shifting that energy. Because even if you really do want to be off the twin flame journey, that's not how you get there. In any case, the message is this. You see this card? This card separated itself from the rest of my deck. I found this last night, and I it because you know what it is. So this is the Three of Cups. This is typically used to represent third parties, right? And I put karmic in the title partly as a misnomer because people are not karmics, but we tend to associate them as that, and people are still using the keyword as that. So you came here to learn to stop associating third parties as karmics, because one, you're only doing that because they're not, your person isn't with you, and it feels easier to villainize the other person. Two, a lot of tarot readers talk about it that way. I used to also. If you look at my old videos, I did it too. And three, this is another place for you to open up blocks. So it's the relationship that is karmic. That's why your cycle with your DM right now is also karmic. That's where the karma is. It's in the learning lessons, right? Especially because if you're here with this reading, it's likely that you have self-worth challenges because your person is with somebody else and it feels like they're choosing that, which yes, but no, they're going through important lessons that they wanted to learn when they came into this lifetime, and likewise you are reflecting and doing the same thing, and so is that third party. But here's the deal. This card separating itself from the rest of the deck, I decided, you know what, I'm going to keep it out of the deck. I'm going to keep it out of the deck now, too, because this is an important message. Both your divine masculine and their third party and you are done with third party situations, right? Done with that lesson, that karma right there. And part of it is because you're, right? But there's going to be a little bit of let's say drama in the middle, right? Now your goal throughout this should not, like, your goal should not be to be in a place of like, I'm not going to be in that mess. I'm not going to mess with that theatrical stuff. No, you should be in a space of like, this is adorable. Look at these humans being human. They clearly don't see the team of ancestors all around me or around themselves. They don't know what I know. Isn't it adorable that they're still doing these very human things, that they're still acting from a place of their trauma right now, right? But here's the thing, the wonderful bit of message in removing that card from the deck, in it removing itself from the deck. Do you know what that means? It means that third parties are removing themselves from these situations with these DMs. And the message that I'm getting is that no matter how your story has gone, they have been dealing with shadows to do with insecurities and feeling insignificant. They got with your DM because they thought that it would bring them certain feelings of significance. Now, if you were with your DM when they got with them, rather than a very common story is that the divine feminine is the third party. But if you were with your divine masculine in some way, shape, or form, and a third party came in, it's likely that they assumed that all that greatness was your DM alone, and that by being with them and keeping them, they would be able to feel that significance. They would be able to fill that hole in their soul with your DM's significance, either financially, socially, if they're really physically beautiful, whatever, things like that. Like, they felt like they could fill that hole in there. But by interacting with your DM who is connected with you, and clearly, whether they're showing it or not, they are doing things that, like, they have been trying to show their third parties that they're very, very important, but they can't even help themselves in revealing that they truly feel like you are the most important person. And a lot of them have been quiet and not communicating and pushing themselves further into 3D commitments with these third parties in an effort to try to prove, no, I'm not in love with them. No, they're not the most important person. No, I don't know what you're talking about. But all they've been doing is, because that which you resist persists, all they've been doing actually is showing that you are so important that there will never be a moment in their lives when they're not thinking about you. And these third parties needed to have that experience so that they too could choose themselves. And now they're in a space where they're really done with it. Like I'm sensing a couple of timelines. For the earlier of them, this is going to create some drama. They're going to try to do some more things to try to up the ante. But I tell you what, if you got DMs that especially like that got entangled into like marriages and stuff like that, there's nowhere else to go from there. Like in terms of status and power play and insecurities to try to make yourself feel more important, there's nowhere up to go from there. So now the real healing work begins, but that's going to likely create a lot of drama for them. Doesn't mean for you, but for them, and that's okay. That's what they need to go through. No matter what kind of stuff comes up, what kind of triggering stuff, don't worry about it. That's just a part of the process. It's part of the play. You have fun. You have fun on your own. Feel your feelings as you go along with it. Then the next timeline is those that they've already tried to do that. They've already tried to work through every bit of drama. They've tried to drag your name through the mud. They've tried to bring your DM's energy down as far as they can. They've done everything that they can think of that has worked with people in the past to get to pull your energy out of your DM. And they can't, because you're the same person. And so this is a challenge that they were not expecting. They're used to winning by their manipulation tactics, and Spirit needed them lined up with your DM and with you in order to help them see that, one, they don't need to do that. Two, there's better places to put their time and energy. And three, they have just as much healing to do as they accuse others of feeling like they need to do. Stuff like that. It's a lot of reflective stuff. And then the third timeline is those who've already gone through all that stuff and they're no longer so triggered. They're just kind of in that recognition that love isn't blind, but toxicity sure is. And that they recognize that they don't want to be tied to somebody who is always going to be tied to others, which is something that you need to look at. Because if you're in a space of like, I won't be with them unless they get rid of all their exes and all these toxic people and all this blah, 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 blah. It's fine if you want to be that way, but you're not going to be with them if you're uncomfortable or you feel insecure with them having connections with people from their past. If you want connection with them, you're going to need to learn compersion. Word of the day. Word of the last couple of years. Now, you can feel which timeline you're on. I know you can. And I'm excited for you, because this is your healing journey too. And when it comes about, you're going to be so delighted with how much you've learned about yourself along the way, and the fact that the journey is just barely beginning now. All right, I'll see y'all in the next messages.